What's up, world? It's your boy DJ47. Thanks for tuning in to our YouTube page. If you like what you see, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to us as we hit you with new videos every week. 1.
You're now listening to the sounds of KDPG Radio. Keep the party going.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy DJ47. It's another episode of the One Shot Deal. Tonight, it's a special one. I can't wait for this one because I'm about to sit back, relax, and just learn a little bit. I always wanted to know about this type of topic. I'm here with my sister, long-time brethren. My cousin, my sister, my mother, my father. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but she's family.
Right.
Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Tamie, the goddess. I call her the goddess. She didn't want me to say it, but I said it. What's going on, Tamie?
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
No problem. I was a little nervous, man. I came from far, and I'm like, damn, it's getting late and shit. I'm gonna get over there. She's like, I ain't going. It's 12 o'clock, nigga. We doing this shit in the day.
I know, it's past my bedtime.
I'm like, I hope she don't front on me. It's a long drive. I packed up everything just to do this interview, man.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I do enjoy talking about this topic. It has truly become my passion, so I love talking about it all the time. And I'm kind of glad that we can get together and discuss it.
See, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who be tuning into my podcast knows I always have an agenda in mind. I don't even know how I pronounce that. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, if I say words that's not incorrect tonight, because I'm going to get excited and I'm just going to listen. So I might, this is her platform. But my thing is, I'm trying to get her on here. She said, how long are we going to be? I said, we just going to talk. We going to fill it out. See, the goal is, ladies and gentlemen, is to see if she's willing to start her own show and do this on a weekly. We're going to find out if she's going to want to do this week. Right now, we're just interviewing her, but the job's to get her to come on and do her thing, and I don't even have to be here. She just come and knock it off. But we'll feel her out, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, we'll see.
Let's
see how it goes.
Exactly. So before we start anything, how you doing?
I'm absolutely wonderful.
Yeah? With the quarantine, how you holding up with that?
Great. I'm truly blessed. We, me and my man, we just purchased a home and, we're on this whole new adventure. It's truly been wonderful. I really feel for the people that are going through it, but I do feel that I feel protected. I feel as if I haven't really been touched by it, like in a bad way, where it hasn't really touched us, where it affects us in a bad way. But like I said, I truly feel for those that have been touched some way, somehow, by this illness. But I've been doing absolutely wonderful.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your new home.
Thank you.
Let's give you a round of applause for that. We're actually recording from our home, which is very beautiful and all. Oh, yeah. I see like comfortable couches. Like, I might be I don't know if anyone ever seen the movie Half Baked when they had Guy on Couch.
Oh, yeah.
I might be Guy on Couch. I'm just saying,
Very comfortable. Yes.
So let me ask you something. We're talking about, because she has a lot going on, and I asked her, what do you want to talk about today? Because she's very intelligent and she chooses to use her life to learn as much different,
right.
things in life. It was another word I was trying to use, but I got roadblock. I was trying to sound highly educated, but it didn't come off that way. So So I there's so much we can talk about. Like, what do you want to talk about? So Tamie, tell us, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, the topic I want to talk about today is basically something that's truly become my passion today, which is past life regressions
Okay.
through hypnosis. I, this is something that I've become passionate about because I know how much it helps other people. But a lot of people are afraid of the word hypnosis.
Yeah, I am. Look, I'm raising my hand. I'm gonna let you finish your statement, but I seen a show of that.
Right,
But
and because people have the wrong idea when I say the word hypnosis. It is not what you see on TV where you're being manipulated to say or do things or act in a certain way.
all right.
There are different types of brain waves, and so where I go is what they call the subnumbulistic level, which is like the level right before you fall asleep. You go there twice a day. You go there when you wake up in the morning and right before you fall asleep.
Okay.
And so I just kind of talk you into being at that level. And from there, we do the whole experience of going into a past life, getting information that you need to get, that is either has to do with something in this lifetime, if it has to do with the healing, whatever it is that the subconscious mind wants you to know. I'm not the one in control. You are. You are the
Okay.
one. You're now. Your subconscious mind now takes over. Not everybody goes into hypnosis because there are those that they have the controlling mind, like they want to be in control. They don't want to fully surrender.
Yeah.
Or if they are going through the experience, the controlling mind will say, no, this is not real. You're not really seeing that. You're making it up.
I think that's something that I would do.
That you would do,
Yeah,
trying to control that.
Yeah.
Ah, no, I'm not going.
Well, let me ask you something. If that were the case, like say you did that towards me, hypnotized me, and I'm already like, this is fake. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. Is there a way of it happening without me being so negative towards it? Like, can it still go through without me believing in it?
Well, basically, I would basically talk to the conscious mind into kind of stepping aside and allowing the subconscious to come through in order to help you, because you want what's best for you. And then it is true when they say the answer's within you. All I help you do is get to that level where you are going to tell you basically what you need to do for you to like either achieve what you came to do on earth. Some people wonder, why am I here? What did I came to accomplish? I don't know what to do. The subconscious will tell you, this is what you came to do. This is what you came to accomplish. You didn't come to do this. In 6 months, you will stop what you're doing and you need to go do and take care of this. And this is where you're meant to be. And so I love doing that because, first of all, the energy in the room is absolutely amazing, such an amazing feeling. And secondly, I'm helping someone, basically get everything that they need to get in order for them to either heal or get to where they need to be in life.
Is this like another form of therapy?
Yes, it's another form of therapy, but it's very deep because this type of therapy can be also very spiritual because you're talking to your inner being, like the soul that you're born with. That is what comes forward and comes and shows you all of these things and tells you basically this is why you're here, this is what you came to accomplish. If you're ill, why you're ill, what is happening with you, what is it that you need to do. Most of the time, they'll tell you to eat healthy, exercise, stuff that we should already be doing.
Yeah.
But they'll say, you should be eating some fruits, you should be drinking more water, you should be exercising, you should be doing this. And sometimes the healing is done instantly.
So
You know, so it's a whole, it's very healing at the same time. There's a lot of different things going on. we would I don't know if I can break it all down for you all in one segment, but
see, that's
there's
why we said we
a
can
lot
we
of
can start a
things
show.
going on. Yes, there's a lot of things going on. There are those that wouldn't believe some of the stuff that I could say, but through this, when you go through past lives, certain past lives are not human lives.
I was gonna ask you, like, what is past life? Like, what does that mean?
It means that we have lived many lifetimes, and we have lived them in many places throughout the earth, or we have lived many lifetimes, many places throughout the universe. We've traveled, souls have traveled from throughout the entire universe to come and have the earth experience. That's why they say we are a soul having an earth experience, because we come from all over. Not all souls are earthly souls, sort of say. All souls come to earth to have an earth experience, because, are you ready? Earth is the only place that we can experience emotions. And, we come to experience certain things in life, good or bad. And so everything that we come to experience, we just plan it out. We just say, like you and I are here talking at this table, and I say, hey, Pat, well, I don't know if your name is Pat on the other side, but I could say,
DJ 47, but
but
whatever.
I could say, we're going to have this crazy experience where we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and you're going to feel this way and I'm going to feel this way. Whether it's good or bad, whether it's a bad experience, yes, you did make the plan with each other to experience that, because that feeling, you had to feel it, because that's what you came to experience. Because on the other side, or throughout the universe, there's no other place they can experience emotions. Earth is very precious throughout the universe, because it's free will. You get to freely experience everything and anything that you want, whether it's being in a handicapped body, or being in a black body, or in a white body. We have all experienced different bodies. We have to experience different aspects of life, different religions, different things. And so I know this as a fact, because I actually had a client who today, in this lifetime, he is a black guy, but in another lifetime, he was a soldier in the Hitler army killing the Jews.
Wow.
Yeah. Where I brought him back, that's where he was. And he was,
So do you think my past, or maybe next lifetime, I'll actually get the girl?
Well, I don't know what you will be in the next lifetime.
No. I didn't say I would be a girl. I'm saying will I actually get the girl? You
Get
know?
the girl. Well,
Will I have enough confidence to go get the girl?
well, I think, well, it's whatever you want to do. You know, if you haven't gotten the girl yet, I don't know. But I don't think it has to do with confidence. I think it has to do with what do you want? You have to be specific. And then the answer will come to you. You know? You have to be specific, which, but it'll happen. Trust me. You don't need another lifetime for that. We get to experience everything in one lifetime, per lifetime. So
So you definitely believe that everything happens for a reason?
yes, I do believe that everything happens according to the plan that you've made. Whatever you experience, you planned it to experience it and feel it. Um, some experiences are part of life circumstance. We fall off the plan, we fall off the track. And when you fall off the track, of course, your soul, your higher being, will always push you back on track. But there are those that are stubborn. They continue to fall off track. But the stubborn ones um, are the ones that always go through harsh lessons because they're off track and they don't know that because
Well, so basically saying that, you know, you have a path, but us as humans keep going off it,
yes,
even though it's like pointing, like this is the arrow saying
you
right.
know it, you feel it. You're like, I shouldn't be going this way, but you get off track, and then your gut is telling you, no, go over here, and you're like, no, I'm just gonna go over here.
Like
So-
eating that unhealthy food that you know
right,
is not good,
right?
but I want to eat it,
But I
and then you
want
eat
it.
it, and then you realize you made the biggest mistake that I know I shouldn't have eaten.
And that little voice is like, you know what this is gonna do to you.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? And you're like, shut up. I don't want to
Ladies
do
and
it
gentlemen,
anyways.
that is me every day. Every day. And I know what it
Okay.
takes to get in shape and be healthy. And I know that eating right makes you feel 10 times better. And eating bad makes you feel 10 times worse. And yet I still do it. So what is wrong with me? Why am I not why am I not walking that straight line that's clearly in bright lights telling me go this way?
Well, maybe you're one of the stubborn ones
I
don't listen.
I agree.
You know, yeah. But like I said, I do love what I do, and what I do with those that allow me to help them get to that level. I've seen a lot of people that their lives have changed. They were off track, they're not where they need to be in their career, and they've changed their lives around. There are people that they've come for healing, they've had health issues, and their lives have changed, and they've gotten healthy and gotten the healing that they needed. And so I truly believe in what I do. I truly believe in everything that, like I said to you, the universe is a big place, and there's a lot to be learned.
Do you think when you're like a fetus, growing inside the stomach and all, and as an infant, do you think that we already know, or we're being taught to learn? Like, do you think?
Well, according to what I've learned, is that the information is already encoded in your DNA because you've lived many lifetimes. So when you get all that information, you go and you bring it back, and then it goes into a pool of like records called the Akashic records. And so that information is, because you can't retain all the information that you learned. And so what they do is whatever is the plan that you're born with is encoded in the DNA. You pick the the family you're going to live in. You pick the day you
I
want to be
read
born.
that. I
You
read that.
pick, yes, you pick your date of birth. You pick the mother, the father. You pick that whole, you make the choice for all of that. And then you sit there and as the soul, you sit with the mother until the baby is born. And when the child is born, that is when the soul enters the body. So, yeah, because the soul can change its mind at any time, you know, and so a soul never sits still, like sits still. You cannot inhabit, you know, the soul. The soul cannot inhabit you. You inhabit the soul, and so the soul is constantly moving, going, hopping from one dimension to the next dimension, to this, to that, to here, to there. It's always hopping around.
Yeah.
Yes, the soul never rests.
I,
The human body rests and dies, but the soul never dies. It never rests. It just continues, keep going. And so it's always ongoing. That's why when people are always like, oh, they lose a loved one, I always say, but it is there. You just cannot see it because it vibrates at another rate. But when 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 someone close to you passes, they become your guardian. They become right there. You just cannot see them or feel them because you probably don't have that um, you know how they say through meditation you could raise your vibration, and when you raise your vibration you can actually sense the vibration, and some people can even see them, but you cannot, because your vibration is not at the same rate as theirs, because their vibration is a little bit higher because they're in a different realm. You
right.
understand? And that's another thing that I do with my hypnosis, and that's why I say it gets spiritual, is because through the same hypnosis that I do, what I do is I lift that veil and I let you see the person. And you can actually have a conversation with your past loved one and, you know, get all the answers that you seek. And, you know, I've actually helped people do that too, where, you know, they talk to some of their loved ones that have crossed over, and you know they've made peace with one another. They've had, like, you know, some people want to say goodbye, or I had a client that, you know, the father was really sick really bad, and so he isolated himself from everybody and just like sat in his room and was grumpy and wasn't really like communicating with them, and they were like, he passed, and they felt like, you know, like, why did he do that? Why did he just like became angry and locked himself away from everybody? But through that, he came through, and there were a lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of goodbyes, a lot of like, you know, and the person talks through you. It's that, you
The
know,
hypnosis.
right, through the hypnosis. It's like the person talks through you. So the father came through, and he, you know, he came through her, and he spoke. He said, man, when I was sick, I really treated them poorly, and I really feel bad. But I want to let them know that I'm with them, and I watch over them, and that they're doing a good job watching over this person, watching over that person. And he kind of like let them know that he's there, and that he's watching over them, and that they're doing a really good job at what they're doing. And so they had their closure, and there was a lot of tears and crying, and there was also a forgiveness process that was done, and that's the whole point of me doing that, is to kind of get like the forgiveness there, and then the kind of like peace,
And a basic
you
closure.
know, basic closure. And so it's a wonderful experience. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a wonderful experience for me.
So when you say things like cross over to the other side and all like that, do you believe in heaven and hell? Do you believe in God and the devil, or it's a whole mist of just a? I mean, I don't even know the words to say and all. Like, just basically, do you believe in that, or
I believe in that all religions are like everything put together. They're all right in their own unique way, but and I respect all of them. But also, I believe that no, there isn't really like a hell. I believe that there are, yes, there are various levels of heaven, and then there's the universe. The thing is that when I say the soul doesn't rest, I mean that when you die, yeah, you can go to heaven. It depends on the level of um, knowledge and the level that the soul has reached, because that is the point of us living many lives, is to attain enough knowledge where we can go higher realms in the heavens. And there are many levels of heaven, and our goal is to be godlike, which they're called Elohims, which once you get there, you're just there with the higher beings and the, and God, source. They call it a source, the source of life. And, and there are beings from all over the universe. And so we don't just sit here, we go to other planets as souls. We can go onto other planets and do other work in other places. There have been past life regressions where they go on to another planet, and they're looking at themselves, and they look totally non-human,
Yeah.
and so there are people that when they go back, they find themselves on a spaceship out in space, and their actual real bodies there in a space in a capsule. It's just that the soul has transcended itself here on earth, is to help earth. There are many different species living here on earth, to help earth, and to help us, humanity. But that's a whole other topic. Because that seems wacko.
I mean,
But yes.
I mean, when you say that word, it seems wacko. And I had this conversation with a friend of mine. Well, I'll just say Steph, and I'm tired of saying. I gotta start learning to say people's names because
Yes.
it tells the story better, right?
Yes.
And I said I'm tired of people saying shit is wacko or that person's weird, because when you call someone weird, it's because you don't understand what they do. So then you're like, oh, that person's weird and all.
Right.
And instead of trying to understand what they do, the easiest way is to reject it instead of
By saying they're wacko.
yeah.
I know. I'm so used to it. My whole life it's been that way because I've always been different. I've always said things out of the ordinary. I've always did things that were different than what people considered like being normal, I guess. And
Well, maybe you're still stuck in one of your past lives.
Yes.
And you're in another world that we're like how they said the person was a soldier for Hitler, and he's probably don't like Jews, Jewish people and all. And he's like, why do you hate Jewish people? It's like, I don't know why, but I just don't. And it's like, well, there you go. You were the soldier for Hitler. That might be a reason.
Well, the good thing about me is that I've never actually, and I realize why I am the way that I am is that, I grew up in Haiti, and I grew up like.
That's where you were born, or you grew up there?
I was born and raised there.
Okay.
And so it's a very like spiritual, mystical, beautiful place. But growing up there, of course we had like, the people that they live good, and then they have servants. And I've always watched how like they treated those people like, I don't know, to me, like, kind of like slaves, like that slave way, like, oh, no, you're the maid and you sit over there. And me, I used to always go, like, and sit with them and hug them and be a certain way with them and be like, they're people too. Their blood is red just like ours. Like, why we have to treat them like they're less than us?
Yeah.
I never understood that as a child, and I always treated them and, like, no, we're the same. You know, it doesn't matter like, oh, I make more money than you or whatever, we're the same. And growing up like that, as I got older, I became like, no, we're all the same. I don't care what your color is. We're souls. We're all souls.
Yeah.
I see souls. I don't see people. Everything to me is a soul. Whether you're a plant, whether you're an animal, whether you're a person, you're a soul here on earth having an experience.
Yeah, I learned that about plants from your cousin Kiko the other day. He was like, this one died, and since I didn't cut this, it tangled on the other one that made this one die. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, because it was feeding off its soul, and it was suffering. I was like, oh wow, you learn something new every day.
Yes, plants have souls. No matter how short or long their lives they have. You have also stones, crystals, they have souls. Water has a soul. You can talk to water and tell the water what you want it to do for you, and program the water if you want the water to heal your body, if you want the water to rejuvenate the body, energize the body. You just tell the water and then you drink it, the water. Everything has a soul, and you can always activate it if you recognize it. Most of us, unfortunately, we go about our lives and don't even acknowledge the soul that we're born with. We acknowledge everything around us. We acknowledge God, Jesus, the Virgin Mary, everything else. But the soul that you are born with that came and made that contract and that plan and is always there for you and is always looking out for you and is just waiting for you to have a conversation with it. And some people go through their whole lives and never acknowledges it till they die. Never. And then when they get to the other side, they're like, what happened? Oh my God, did we do it? Did we accomplish the plan? Oh, okay, it didn't accomplish. All right, let's go back and do it again. I'm going to make it happen this time.
So when they say that I'm going to make it happen again this time, are they coming back as a plan, or are they coming back as something else trying to make it happen?
You can come back as another, like I could say, okay, well, Pat, it didn't happen because, you know what, right now me and you are friends. Well, let's come back and do it again, but this time I'm going to be your daughter.
Okay.
We play like different roles, you know, to kind of like accomplish. It's just to accomplish our learning experience.
Yeah.
You know, or if you don't want to experience, this is where free will comes in. I know a lot of religious people are gonna come after me for this. Maybe I don't know.
Well, I mean, before you continue on the free will, no, honestly, because I've been reading this book called My Conversation with God.
Yes.
And it talks a lot about free will. That basically God says you have the free will.
You have free will.
God is there to protect you, not to tell you what to do.
Right. It is not his plan. It is your plan.
Yeah.
You plan to experience this. God gave you free will to come on earth and experience it however you wish to. And so this is also like in the middle of the experience. If the experience is too painful for you and you do not wish to experience it anymore, you could turn around and say, I don't want to experience this. I want to experience something else.
Yeah.
And say what you want to experience. And that's all the soul wants to do, is for you to have that conversation with it and saying, you know what, I don't really want to experience this. I want to experience that. I really love and enjoy experiencing this. Bring more of it for me to experience. It's all about what you want. It's never about what another entity outside of yourself wants.
Yeah.
It is what you want. It is what you came to experience. You can be, it is true when they say you could be, do, and have whatever you want. But there's one thing you have to do, is to believe in that. And that's the one thing that people don't have, is that belief in themselves that they can have that, or they can be that, you know. And that is the main problem. Even with hypnosis, your higher self can tell you, okay, this is what you need to do, this is what you came to do, this is what, where you're going to be. If you don't believe in the words that are coming out of your own mouth, because I do record, I video record, and I voice record all of my sessions so that you can actually see it and you see yourself, because you're going to forget it. When you come out of hypnosis, it's like you had a dream.
Can you put yourself in hypnosis?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I would have to go to another practitioner. I have gone to other practitioners. I've done it twice. I have done it twice, and it is because I had just finished getting learning this whole hypnosis thing, and then my stomach was giving me issues, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me.
Yes.
Every test.
This is.
Yeah.
I
Every
this.
test that they did, they couldn't figure out what's wrong with me, and I said, I'm gonna go do a hypnosis session because my higher self is gonna tell me why, what's going on with me. And so when I did the hypnosis session, and first of all, in my past life regression, I went straight back to space. I was out in the middle of space, and I was just this glowing light out there.
This is you under the hypnosis?
Yes, under hypnosis.
Yeah, I know.
And I was just
I told you I pronounced some words wrong. I knew
I
it
was
was
just
going to happen.
glowing light out there, and I'm like in total darkness and just this glowing light. And then she was just like, but why are you there? I said, I don't know. I'm just out there. And she's like, what are you feeling? And I go, I don't feel nothing. I just feel love and I feel good. And that's just a feeling that you get to feel when you're outside of Earth and you're just outside in your being, And when she brought me back, and then she asked my subconscious mind, like, why did you show this to this girl? Like, that she's just a light out there in space. And my subconscious mind said, this is who she is. This is what she is. She's the light. She's the light. And the lady goes, what? What did you say? And she said, the words coming out of my mouth said, because this is who she is. She is the light. She has come here.
So it's the lady who put you under
hypnosis.
She's like, what did you say?
What did you say? And then I'm like, this is who she is. Because when you speak to the subconscious mind, that's what I call it, but that's really your soul. It speaks in the third person. Okay. It'll be coming out of you, but it's going to be speaking about you like, oh, this is who he is, him, or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm saying this is who she is. This is, what she came here on earth to do. She came to, put light into others that have darkness and take out the darkness and put in the light. And so, that was just so weird because I wanted so badly to do like a past life regression where like I'm in Egypt or something, or I had like a cool past life or something, and I'm just out there in space. And I'm like, man, that's so boring, So I went a second time, and it was the same experience again. It just wouldn't take me back to like a regular Earth experience. I was always being brought out to space and more lights. And so again, my subconscious mind is like, the reason why we bring you back there is because we want you to remember that this is who you are. Is that sometimes we come to Earth and we forget who we are and what we came to accomplish. And so this is one of the things I came to accomplish, is to help as many people as I can. I do Reiki energy healing. I work with energy. And I also do the hypnosis sessions.
which are wonderful. So this is what I came to do, honestly, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. I love doing it.
So, by you not being in Egypt and all that, and you're in space, what was that metaphor or what was that supposed to mean? Like, like your time is in another world.
No, it just means that this is where I came from. Not to forget, this is where I came from. There are many types of um, souls on the earth, and we've come from many different places in the universe, and um, and this is one of the places that I've come from the beginning, like the beginning. But I have other places that I've been. It's just that I'm not shown those because it has nothing to do with this lifetime. Whatever has to do with this lifetime is just going to bring you back to that time where you need to remember this for this lifetime because of what you came to accomplish today. What I came to accomplish today is to help people, help remove their darkness out of them, and to help them find their light. You know?
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna help you find your light, it's not gonna show me all of these other stuff because I don't need the memory. I don't need it because it has nothing to do with this lifetime, and it's not gonna help me accomplish anything. Now, out of curiosity,
Yeah.
there are some people like um, my mentor. She wrote many books about like some because her clients, they'll come over and over and over and over again in a period of time
Yeah.
where they will go deep, 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 deep into, and then the subconscious will open up and say, okay, and show them really where they come from and stuff like that. Like this guy, he went as far back as like being the first seeder of on Earth, like like taking care of the gases of the earth and taking care of the earth and preparing the plants and then introducing the animals and then introducing the first human beings. And so there are people that these souls have participated in helping creating the earth. We have been doing this for many, many, many lifetimes. We come for that. It's just that we get caught up in the things of the earth, like all of this, the fame, the glory, the money, all of these things that are happening around us. We become disconnected with what we actually came to do, and we disconnect ourselves from actually earth. We don't even ground ourselves. How many people walk around barefoot to ground themselves with the ground and feel the energy of
T's
the
been
ground?
talking about that right now. T. But
Yes.
wait, let me ask you something because what you're saying right now, I've been writing my notes. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm writing notes. And
Okay, I see you.
You actually, there's a question here that on my notes I'm gonna ask. But before I do that, the question was, you went to do the hypnosis because you couldn't figure out what was wrong with you.
Right.
What's your status right now?
My status right now, I'm good because I was told by my higher self that if you eat good, you just have to eat healthy because it is important for you to eat healthy, to eat, fruits, vegetables, drink a lot of water, exercise, take care of your body because a lighter body, you vibrate higher energy. And so, I started, I went semi veggie. I stopped eating red meat. I stopped eating chicken because they said that too. No red meat, no pork, just eat fish and chicken and eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and, drink a lot of water and stuff. And so I did that, and the doctors never found what was actually wrong with me, except for a small, tiny little hernia that I have. But other than that, they wouldn't even operate because it said it's so tiny that it wouldn't make sense for them to even come in. So I just did that, and then I my body healed, and so you basically have to, and I noticed that with a lot of people. If you do not take care of the body will scream at you and tell you, take care of me.
I completely agree.
Okay. the
10,000,
the body
10,000%.
talks. The body talks to you. The body will tell you, if it's a trapped emotion, it'll tell you. You'll feel it. You'll feel pain some way, somehow. If you keep ignoring it, it can even develop into cancer. And so, I always tell people, like, cancer means, suppressed anger. It's just that, you know, you just gotta figure out where it is in the body is basically what you're angry about, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if a woman has like breast cancer, so to speak, or in her uterus, it is anger about that they're not being nurtured. They haven't been nurtured by their mother enough, or they're not getting, they weren't nurtured or getting that love that they needed.
Wow, that's something very interesting to say.
Yes,
You know?
definitely. Definitely. So,
So pieces. So basically everything means something is what you're saying.
exactly. Everything means something. And so, like, I treated this one girl that she had cancer in like her lymph nodes. And when I first started talking to her, the first thing she said to me was that, she thought that her ex-boyfriend's mother did some witchcraft on her. And I looked at her and I said, what? And she's like, yeah, this is why all of this is happening to me. And I'm like, okay, let's have a little bit more talk. And then in talking with her, I realized that this is where the cancer derived from, because cancer in the lymph nodes comes from feeling of being angry, of feeling a victim, like you've been victimized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, once, of course, she did her surgery, and she did her treatments and all, but also, with certain therapy that I've done with her, right now she's fine. She went into remission, but I had to kind of like let her know, you can't feel like you're a victim. Nobody does anything to you. If this is happening to you, is because you either planned it, or it's part of your plan to experience it, or it could be part of circumstance. If it's part of life circumstance, it is you that have done this, put yourself in that situation, and we're gonna find out how to fix that, how to clear that out.
Yeah.
And detox that. But thank God for her, everything went well, and she's fine right now. She's in remission, and I'm very happy for her. But yeah, that happens.
Well, back to the question I was going to ask, because you were talking about. It's a two-part question.
Okay.
One, do you believe in the story of Adam and Eve? And basically, the second question is, do you believe that there's a beginning and there's a beginning and there's an end? Did you believe that there was ever a beginning?
I believe that there was a beginning, like in the sense that the earth was created. I believe that earth was created, yes, by not by the hands of one man that sat there and put a globe together out there in space. I think it was created by many beings that came together and cleared the earth and prepared the earth for us, for them to create us, to put us here in this earth. So yes, I believe that there is a beginning, but for the end, it's up to us. If we continue to mistreat the earth, and we we continue to with the hate and end up in some nuclear war, we are the only ones that can destroy ourselves and make it the end. And we are the ones that can make it last forever and ever for our children's and other generations to come. It's really up to us, and I think that this is why we're here. This is why there's all these beings here. Is that when that last atom bomb went off, I think it was like World War II or something like that. I don't know. It kind of like sent a ripple effect, because whatever happens here on Earth affects outside the universe as well. It's a vibration. And so that vibration basically sent out a call for all over the universe to come and help Earth. And this is what basically we're trying to avoid, is for anything bad to happen to Earth, because whatever happens here it affects the universe. It doesn't only happen here. So hopefully there's a forever and ever. I don't think that there's going to be an end where one big bang and then everybody's gone and the Earth is gone and everything's gone.
Well, I think that
evolution always happens.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We'll evolve. There'll be survivors, and we'll evolve always, even if there was a big bang.
Yeah. My thing is that men created, or at least I could say humans created numbers to keep things organized. So I don't believe, in my opinion, that there was ever a beginning. It's just, they tell you it was a beginning because it makes sense, beginning, end. But I think the Earth was always here, and in my opinion, I don't think the Earth would ever leave. But I think when people say the world's coming to an end, I believe they mean, well, they probably don't really realize what they mean, that the world that we know it is coming to an end. I believe that the world ended a couple of times.
Yes.
I think the day the iPhones and the smartphones came around, that became a whole new world.
Yes.
The year 2000 became a whole new world.
Yes.
Because I'm from the 80s and all, and the 80s and 90s is not like what 2002 and all the way up to now is. So in my mind, that's what I think. I think this Earth will be here long before I was gone. And if you said that we go into another body or another transformation and all, and that's so be it, that's what it is. But that's just my thought of training on like that. The one thing I wanted to ask you, because early in the beginning of the podcast, you were talking about levels of the hypnosis, and you was telling us the level that you're on. How many levels are there?
There are 4 levels of, there are 4 levels. The first level is, off the top of my head, I'm not gonna have all the names, but the first level is basically like when you're awake.
Okay.
Right?
Like right now.
Right now.
Okay.
We're fully awake. And the second level is basically the theta level, which is like, where you're watching TV and it has you like all zoomed into it. That's another form of like hypnosis, because you're within the first 90 seconds, you're in the suggestive state where that's
where marketing comes in.
Right.
They can sell you.
Exactly. That's where marketing comes in, and then they can sell you stuff. And then there's the third level, which is I can't think of the top of my head the name right now, but that level, that's where the regular hypnosis that they take you to, and they're like putting subliminal messages into your mind and telling you, okay, this is this is that, this is here, this is there, you bark like a dog, your name is Conholio, and all of that. That one is called introspective hypnosis.
All right.
The type of hypnosis that I do is called the quantum. I go into a quantum level.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I told you you're gonna learn some new words today.
And so this is where I go into the somnambulistic level, which is the level that you go into when you are falling asleep. So I'm gonna give you sort of like a description of
Okay.
how it feels.
All right.
Okay? All right. So imagine when you go to bed, you're going to sleep, you know, you lay down, and then you close your eyes.
Should I close my eyes?
No, don't do that. It's okay. But when you close your eyes, your breathing slows down, right? You get relaxed, your breathing slows down. Then the next thing that happens is that you start seeing images. Then when the images are coming at you, you fall asleep.
Okay.
Right? You'll start seeing shapes, you'll see shadows, you'll see some type of image, and then you fall asleep. And the same thing when you're waking up. As you're waking up, you'll have that image, this kind of like fleeting image, and then boom, you wake up. Right? So that level where you start seeing the images, that's where I keep you.
Okay. Am I telling you I'm seeing images and that's how you got, or you just know?
I just know that this is where you're going to be,
Okay,
because
you know.
I'm asking you, what are you seeing?
Okay.
I'll ask you, hey, what are you seeing? But where I bring you is, first, I bring you to a happy place, where to you is a happy place, and you're describing it to me. Describe me your happy place. Where are you? What does it look like? What are you smelling? What are you seeing? I make you feel all your senses around this happy place that's your favorite place in the whole wide world. And then from there, now that I see that you can image, because not everybody can visualize and see things,
Yeah.
you know. And so I get you there to see. Can you visualize? Can you see? Yes, you see everything. Okay, great. Now let's go on this journey together. And then that's when I go back with you and I say, well, what are you seeing? Where are you? And you're like, well, I'm standing in front of this building. And I'm like, okay, so what do you look like? What do you see? Look at your feet. What are you wearing? Look at your hands. What are you holding in your hands? You know, what are you wearing? So that I can figure out, based on what you're wearing, based on where you are,
Yeah.
what year, you know. I gotta take you to your place, where you live. Let's take a look around your house. Who lives with you? Let's look around the house and see who lives with you in the house. Let's have a meal. Because based on your meal, I'll know what era we're in or whatever. And so I just kind of guide you through it. And then I take you to some important time in that lifetime, because there's an important lesson that needed to be learned in that lifetime. And so I take you to these important little lessons, so that I can say, okay, what was the lesson in this lifetime, in this moment? Oh, he had to learn courage. Oh, what was the lesson? What did you think you had to learn in this life, in this little scenario? You know? Oh, I had to learn detachment and detached. I was too attached, too clingy. You know, it's like every scenario there's a lesson to be learned. And this is like, once you learn that these are the little lessons that you had to be learned, okay, now what do I have to learn in this lifetime?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what you do. You're teaching them.
Right.
Or at least taking them to
I'm
that journey.
guiding you. I'm
Yeah.
like a guide, and I just guide you through it, and you're the one telling me what you're seeing and what are the images that are coming in front of you. And so from there, when I bring you forward into this lifetime, and then I say, okay, so what's the lesson that you brought forward to learn now? So now you learn the lessons that you're supposed to learn now, and why you brought them forward. And it's just amazing, because once you make that connection with you take the conscious mind and you merge it with the subconscious mind, and you become that super mind.
Yeah.
And you know what you came to do, and you know, like, all of these, that you get all this information. It's like instant. There's no not knowing anymore. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna go back and be ignorant and stupid and not do none of this stuff. No, it's like that. It's like instant. It's like automatic change, you know, in
Yeah.
the person,
And I did see that when I went to they had a show a couple of years back where at a hypnosis, that's what it's called. He did a show where he brought up people on stage, and you know he'll pick us at the audience, and they'll have like a line of like 5 of them, and some would go in, some would go in, but he'll know who's went in or who's faking it, and he'll just tap you like, nah, you know, you're faking it, and then it end up being just the last 2, because then some of them would even come out of it, and he'll witness that, and he'll get, so it ended up being like the last 2, and it was just funny how they were moving around, but he wasn't trying to make them look silly. It was just going out, and he asked the question, what do you want? Like, what are you lacking in that you want? And some would like courage and, you know, better to speaking with girls and all like that. So that's what basically what you're saying, that basically what you're saying is what they were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, yes, like I can say to the subconscious, well, you know, he wants to do this. He wants to, you know, meet a great girl, and he wants to get married and have 3 babies or whatever. Because whatever it is you want to tell your subconscious mind, you write it down. It is all, you know, you write down your questions, you write down everything you want to know. And I just ask the questions, and then I write down the answers. You know, it's really not me. It's you telling you what you need to know for you. And so it's always going to be for your best. It's never going to be to harm you or to steer you in a wrong direction. No, and it, you know, a lot of people is like, oh no, I don't do magic. And I'm like, this isn't magic, silly. It's hypnosis.
Well, that was something I was gonna ask you. Like, is that something that what psychics do? Is something like that, or do you even believe in psychics? Or
Well, I mean,
like,
yes.
how does psychics and that go hand in hand? Or
Well,
you know?
psychics are different in a sense is that they read your energy, they read your aura, they, you know, they have various different types of psychics. There's psychics that they could be just around you, and then they have a sixth sense. They see their mediums, and then the spirits tell them stuff. There's different types of psychic, and yes, I do believe that there are, you know, psychics out there. And all of us are. All of us have that.
I feel like I have it.
All of us have that.
Like, but
yeah.
short term, like I can know it's gonna
Yes.
happen, like right now, or it'll come in
Right.
my dream. Not it's gonna happen 10 years from now.
Yes,
Or I would have played the
exactly.
lottery a long time ago, but you know. But it's small little things that I see and then it actually happens. Like, and, you know, it's like a vivid dream, and you know, and
Yeah. So that's your form of psychic, is that you can have a dream for someone and it becomes real,
Yeah.
you know. And then there's those that they have that intuition, like they just know, or it's just a sense of knowing and feeling. And then there are those that they're actually like they can sit there with their cards or with a cup of water or just being around you. I do have you know, psychic friends like that, you know, they just, it's just a knowing. But no, what I do basically is like, it's totally different than what a psychic does, and it's really has nothing to do with magic. What I do is I just bring you into a relaxed state of mind where because the conscious mind is very controlling. It wants to control everything. It wants to tell you this is real, this is not real, this is you know, the table, this is the chair, this is the microphone, these are the headsets, and these are real. And then you have the
Is this real?
everything here is real.
Is it, okay, you know, some people
Everything
say that
here
this
is real.
some people might say this is a dream. This is all a dream.
Right. They're saying that these are all illusions of the
Yeah.
mind. Like we create all of these things with our mind, but the conscious mind now is telling you, no, this is real,
Okay.
right? This is concrete. You can touch it. You can feel it. It's real. But the subconscious mind now is open, and where it's like everything is possible. Everything is open. You're like open to everything else because it is the actual. You know, this is where you actually need to be. But you know, but now being able to like have the conscious mind to kind of let go of the control and just to sit aside and then allow for the subconscious mind to come through now and show you all of the beautiful and wonderful other things.
Yeah.
Is for some people, like I said, it's easy. 1, 2, 3, boom, they're there. I've never really come across someone that I have not been able to put into hypnosis. Thank God for me. Everyone just slips away. They go into their journey and they have a wonderful experience. And thank God for me. Like, it's always been a wonderful, like, experience. Yes, definitely. Like, I've never come across someone that, even like from the very first client that I had, it was just, I wasn't too experienced as a guide at that time because I was just starting out. But
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since 2016.
Okay.
So for about 4 years now.
5 years?
Like 4 or 5 years.
No,
Well,
16,
we're in
16.
2020.
I'm thinking we're
So
at 4
4 years
yeah,
now.
4 years.
Yeah, and it's very exciting and a lot of fun. But I still dawn on my first, my first one because I was like, man, I wish I could have. I had that experience where I could ask 100 questions. Yeah. But as I get more experience, I become better at guiding. But I do kind of like tend to allow the subconscious mind to just kind of like show and bring the person about, and I just kind of like listen to what they tell me.
Yeah.
Instead of me kind of like, because there are hypnosis that they just talk about. They just be like, oh, but what about this? Oh, yeah, because it's that. Oh, because it's this. Oh, because it's that. And it's like, be quiet. Let the person
Find their journey.
just find their journey and tell you why. Don't tell them what it is about, And so, and there are those also that because you're connected to that higher being, I can also say, well, you know what? Let me ask questions about myself because it's kind of like you're psychic at this point in time. I can, you're connected to all energies. So I can say, okay, Pat, I'm gonna ask questions for me too, okay? And you're under hypnosis. You'll be like, okay. And then I'm sitting there having conversations like, so what do you think is gonna happen to me? Am I gonna get the car? Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do that? And some of these hypnosis get caught up in themselves. Instead of the client came for help.
Yeah.
But me, I just focus solely on the client. I never really ask any questions. I don't ask any questions about myself. The only one question I ask at the end when we're closing is, do you have any questions for me? Do you have any message for me? And do you have any message for humanity?
Okay.
Because always at the end, there's always a message for humanity. There's always like something about like everything will be alright, the world will be fine. There's always like a last little message for humanity. And then there's a last message for me. Either they say, you're doing a good job, oh, you really know what you're doing, oh, wonderful work. There's, because I love, like I said, talking to the subconscious mind because it is a higher being, it is not, and that's the most wonderful thing is that once you're connected to that higher being, it's like you're connected to the all, to God and to everything, to the universe, everything. And then you become like this really like super being and really start making things happen for yourself. I know it may sound like a little bit like, but it is that wonderful. It is that great and that powerful for a lot of people.
Yeah, what I was gonna ask you, like, do you meditate?
Yes, I do.
Can you walk us through one of your meditations?
I do many different types of meditation, but I prefer guided meditations because it really kind of stops the mind from wandering around. I have done, you could do 15-minute, I've done 15-minute meditations to 45 minutes to an hour. I like to do the gratitude meditation. I go on YouTube and then, I look them
What's a
up.
gratitude meditation?
A gratitude meditation is like when you just give thanks for like everything from thank you for the trees, thank you for the sky, thank you for the birds, thank you for the air that I breathe. I start giving thanks for everything that's around me. The birds and the bees and the butterflies that they pollinate. The small things, the spider, the spider web, everything that's around me that has a little tiny little soul, and then I go on to bigger and bigger things. Then I turn to myself, and then I give thanks to my body. I give thanks to my eyes for seeing, for my nose for smelling, for my mouth for tasting. I give thanks to my ears for listening. I give thanks to my, vascular system for the work that it does. I give thanks to my lungs for the air that I breathe. I give thanks to my kidneys. I give thanks to my liver. I acknowledge every part of my body, and I give thanks to it for the work that it does to keep me vital, to keep me healthy. I speak to it. I say thank you, and everything that I do because I love you,
Yeah.
And then I move on to giving thanks for, my family, my friends. And once you start, you go through my whole, I do about 30 minutes of that, of just gratitude. And then after that, after I'm done doing the gratitude, I just go into my silence. I go into silence and I wait because one of my things was that I wanted to integrate with my higher being, my subconscious. So I sit and I wait and I have conversations with it and I speak with my higher being and I just say, whatever it is that I have to do today to go help somebody or whatever, just help me, do the work that I need to do. And so, yes, I do meditate and I do connect. I do a lot of grounding. I like to walk barefooted. And especially when I meditate barefoot.
Well, I have something to mention about the barefoot, but I want to hear the rest of your meditation.
So, yeah, I do different types of meditation and breathing exercises. Um, it depends of the day and how I feel. It it really depends. There's a really good one that when I first started meditation that I started doing. It is called the 6 phase meditation by Vision Lukiani. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's a great. He's he's really good.
Well, you gotta send me that.
Yes, definitely.
Well, let me ask you something about dreams, right? So I have this dream, in a current dream, where different places, different locations, but the passing of my cousin Reg.
Right.
It's a lot of times he comes into my dream, right? And it's always the same thing. Dude, where the hell you been at? And he would always say, "Oh, I've been locked up for so many times. I've been in jail, whatever, and I just got out." Is there any meaning to that, or is it just another dream of missing because I miss him or something like that, or is he actually coming into the dream? Because not only that, I mean, he does that, but we have a conversation, and life is grand, and we have conversations, and he talks to me. So is it just a dream? Is it just me missing him, or is he coming to my dream? Like, what does that mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it actually means to you. Basically, it could be a combination of you missing him, and you're asking him where he's been. Why would you ask him where he's been?
Because he's passed away since 2013,
And
and then when I'm up and living life that we say that's real, he's not. He's no longer with us. So when I go to my dreams, he shows up, and it's like, dude, you've been gone for 7 years. We all thought you passed away. I was at your funeral. And then he'll come in like, no, I just had to do a bid real quick. I was in jail.
but exactly,
It's
so
always that.
he's not telling you. He. I guess in a way, he's telling you like he's not dead. He just had to go take care of something real quick, because remember, the body is the vehicle for us to get from one point to another, but the soul is always there. The soul never dies. It just hops out of the body, and the body's gone, but the soul is always there. If he chooses, he will eventually. They're there, but they're there for a short period of time, and then they have other things they have to go take care of. They have other work they have to go do.
Yeah.
They have other lives they have to go live. And so, it could be, that he probably was where he told you he was. It doesn't make sense to you, because to you he's dead. But maybe he's off doing, in another lifetime, he was that.
Yeah.
Because we live all of our lifetimes all at the same time, meaning that we hop from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. So maybe he's not in this body here, but he's in another body, in another dimension there. And in that dimension there, that is what he's experiencing. He went to jail. You understand? Yeah. And that he was doing time there, and that's probably why he hasn't come to you. He was busy doing that there. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So, but yeah, so then he comes to you in dreams, and then he talks to you.
Back to walking barefoot.
Walking barefoot.
You had an experience with Tony Robbins.
Yes.
Walking on fire.
Yes,
Twice. How many, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to this, raise your hand. How many of you have even the balls to do it once? She did it twice.
Yes.
Take us to that journey.
I did it once with a friend of mine.
Was that in Miami?
Yeah. Well, the first time was in Chicago.
Okay.
Because it was just a last minute thing. A friend of mine said, "Come on, let's go to Tony Robbins," and I said, oh, "Okay, I'll go to Tony Robbins." I didn't even know we were going to Firewalk until the first day when I got there, and then I saw them building the fire, and I hear the beating of the drums, and I'm like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're walking fire on the first day," and I was like, "What?" But it was such a wonderful experience. He prepped us amazingly on the first day. A lot of yelling and screaming and jumping up and down and saying yes, 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 yes. And then he did a wonderful job at like having us running around the room. By the end of the day, we're running around happy, high-fiving everybody. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Freeze." And then we all froze. And he was like, "Okay, everybody take off your shoes, roll up your pants. We're going to Firewalk." And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning by that time. And I was like, oh my God, my heart is pounding, my heart is beating. But I am among 15,000 to 20,000 people, and everybody's clapping their hands saying yes, 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 yes. So the energy was just so high and so like, oh my God, it was, the vibration was absolutely wonderful. And then got in front of the fire, and the lady was like, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Look up to your higher power and walk." And then I just walked. I didn't run. I just took nice little strolls and walked across the fire. They had to stop me and spray my feet because I didn't even know it was at the end. I didn't even feel anything. But the one thing I realized was this. One, the energy was very high and had everybody in this yes mode.
Yeah.
So you're already mentally prepared that the minute you're saying yes, like you're transformed. You know, when they say look up in your higher power, make your move and say yes, it's like you become that yes. I don't know if you understand me. It's just really hard to experience. It's like you just become this. And she said, look up to your higher power. What does that mean? You understand?
Yeah, I would think that, whatever you believe in.
Look up to your higher power and say yes.
Yes.
So that is what saves you, because there's a.
That's what I was going to ask you. When they mean that, is that you're looking up, asking your higher power to take care of you?
Don't look down. If you look down in the fire, you will burn.
Oh, okay. So it's like, okay, I get it.
You'll burn. I've literally watched, on the second time I fire walked, I've watched the girl that walked behind me. The minute she got to the last step, she looked down and then she burned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I walked twice and not a burn. Nothing.
How did it feel like the next day? Like
when I came back, oh my God, the next day, I mean, when I got to the other end and I stopped and I looked back and I saw that I walked on fire, it was the most craziest experience ever. I came back home, I was on fire. Nobody could understand what I was saying because I was so on fire. I was like, oh my God, these people just don't understand what I'm talking about. Then the second time around was here in Florida. He did it in Fort Lauderdale, and I said, you know what? I'm going to take my son with me. And I did the fire walk.
Which son is that?
My oldest, Shaid.
Okay.
And then I took him with me. And then we did the fire walk together. It was the most amazing experience because he went ahead of me and then I went behind him. And it was the most amazing experience because, when you get to that other side and you do like that little victory dance, it's just undescribable. Like it's undescribable. Although people make fun of me, they're like, "Oh, so you walk the fire, but you won't get on a roller coaster." And I'm like, "That's different," But yes, amazing experience.
What year was this?
2017.
Okay.
Was when I did that, and so I said, you know what? I will do it as many times as I can. Unfortunately, right now with COVID and all, Tony can't do it anymore. He has to do it on and unfortunately, people are gonna miss the fire walk because I think he can only do it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's not gonna be the same experience. And I loved it. I love the experience of being in these big convention centers around like 20, 30,000 people, and we're all vibrating the same energy at the same time, and we're all feeling the same thing at the same time. It is such an amazing experience. Like,
how did your son
feel that?
Feel about it, Shaid?
Oh my God, he loved it. He loved the experience. It was and the good thing about it that I experienced this with him is that today he could still hold me accountable for some of the things that sometimes, I might forget, and stuff that we learn to help us cope with certain situations. He'll come back and he'll say, hey, like, don't forget, we learned this at Tony Robbins, and don't forget, we learned that at Tony Robbins.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like,
Yeah.
what did you get out of that experience
Yeah.
of a Tony Robbins experience? Like, what did you get out of that?
Oh, I got a lot from it. I learned why people do the things that they do, as far as like our basic human needs, and how basically it's just so simple. It's really, really simple. Um, if you just basically know the basic human needs, you could get along with just about anybody, because all you would have to do is just look at the person and say, okay, whatever situation may be, it's like, okay, what need is not being met? Okay, this need is not being met, that need is not being met. What has to happen in order for this need to be met? Like Tony Robbins.
It's kind of like the 5 language of love.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that when you do these type of self growth, it makes it easy for you to communicate with some people, but there are some, if they're not at that level of understanding, it can make it difficult too, because you're at a certain level and then the person's not, and then it becomes frustrating. Because
Yeah, I know.
if
Exactly
you're
what you mean.
around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're around people that are not doing self-development, the language, you're speaking plain English to them, but it's as if you're speaking like a total different language, because they really don't understand what
I
you're
know
saying.
that all too well.
So, it's all about like me, I don't care. I continue to grow, and I say to people, this is what we're here to do. We're here to learn, and we're here to grow. Whatever doesn't grow dies.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna die. I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to learn until the day that I die.
You know, it's funny. A guy told me that the other day when I told him that I feel like I'm suffocating. I feel like I'm not. I feel like that I'm dying.
Mm-hmm.
And what he told me is like, well, you're not dying per se. He goes, your soul is dying because
Yeah.
you're not achieving.
Mm-hmm.
You're not maximizing your potential, and there's so much you can do, but you're stuck in a. Cause I keep saying that I want to go out to LA because I think I reached the limit of the wall, the ceiling of Miami, and now that I hit the roof, now all that's happening now is the plumbing has gone bad, and now water is rising up to where I'm at, and I feel like I'm drowning. He's like, yeah, your soul is dying. Like if you don't get out of here and go achieve what you're supposed to do, he goes, you'll be dead in the next couple of years,
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
question I want to ask you: any books you can recommend us?
The number one book that I would recommend someone to read, is The 4 Agreements.
Oh, I'm actually reading that right now.
Yes. The 4 Agreements. He is a great author. I love Miguel Ruiz. He's a spiritual guru. I learned a lot from his books. The 4 Agreements is a wonderful book. It also comes with, there are others that it comes with if you could get the trio, which is The Voice of Knowledge and The Mastery of Love. These 3 together are wonderful. They kind of like repeat certain things in each other, but The Mastery of Love is a really good book that he wrote.
Well, I think when they do repeat himself, he actually means what he's saying.
Oh yes,
'Cause
definitely.
if he doesn't repeat, he's kind of contradicting.
The Mastery of Love, the thing that I like about that book is that, which is great, I think that this is something they should have people in high school read, which is it teaches you on like a little ritual on how to love yourself. Like in the morning when you wake up, little rituals that you tell yourself, and then when you go outside and you walk outside and you tell the tree, I love you when you love me back. And then you tell the cloud, I love you when you love me back. And you tell the homeless guy, I love you when you love me back. And you don't literally tell it, but in your mind, you look at them and you just say, I love you and you love me back.
Yeah,
And
it's you know, you have love for them, but you're not in love with them.
right,
Yeah,
you just love things
and
and
want
they
the
love
best.
you back.
Yes, and it's just basically saying you want the best for someone.
Right. And by doing that ritual, you end up so, like my experience, you walk around feeling that in love feeling, but that you're not in love with nobody. You know what I mean? Like you don't like the feeling that you feel when you're with someone, in love feeling, but you're feeling it for yourself. That fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just feeling it. You're just vibrating it because you've put it out and you brought it back in. You put it out and you bring it back in. You put it out to the tree and you put it back in. You put it out to everything you see. You're like, I love this and it loves me back. I love my table and my table loves me back. I love my house and my house loves me back. Whatever you love, it loves you back. And then it gets to a point that you do it so much that you're just like with this bubbly, loving feeling. And then you're just like, but why I feel this way? I'm not even like in love with anybody. Because you've learned the ritual to love yourself. And I love that in that book. He teaches you how to love yourself.
And what's the name of that book again?
The Mastery of Love.
Okay.
By Miguel Ruiz. But the first one, for sure, the 4 Agreements. I would suggest that. To read that and then to also read the other 2 afterwards. The Voice of Knowledge, which he teaches you how to calm that voice in the mind, because sometimes that voice it takes over, and then you're the thinking. I'm thinking. I have so many thoughts running through my mind.
Overthinking.
But that thinking, that thought has a voice.
Yeah.
And the voice is running. Oh yeah, I gotta do this. Oh yeah, I gotta do that. Oh yeah, I gotta hear. Oh yeah, I gotta that. And then he teaches you how to calm that voice. He himself had named the voice. He calls his voice Lala.
Oh, yeah.
He calls it Lala, and he gives it a beautiful face. And she's beautiful and she's sexy. And he'll say, Lala, go have a seat and wait for me. I'm not ready for you to start, Yeah, because that creates anxiety and stress when the voice is racing through the mind.
So, Tamie.
Yes.
Where can we find you?
Well, for now, you can call me or text me at my number at 786-608-5703 and set up, appointments.
What about your social media handlers?
Right now, my social media handlers, let me see. I have my personal social media.
Oh, so is this better to contact you?
Yes, it's better to contact me, and then we can, set up a session, or even just talk.
When do you usually have your sessions?
I usually have my sessions during the week, like in the evening, or if it's on the weekends, I rather do it during the day. Like between, I don't know, anytime between 9 a.m., 10 a.m. till like 5, 6 p.m. The sessions are very long. They last about 2 hours. And because I have to sit with the person 30 minutes before and maybe 30 minutes after. Because after the session, I have to wait for you to actually ground yourself and be grounded, either with this, you have to wait till you're grounded before I can actually let you leave.
All right.
And then we also go through, with a discussion about everything that was said and done, so that takes a little bit of time. So I usually tell my clients, give me 2 hours of your time, and That's that.
Okay, one more time. What was that number?
786-608-5703.
Tammy, it was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you very much.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's another episode of the One Shot Deal with your boy DJ 47 and the lovely Tamie. Had a nice little great session, you know. So give it one more time, a round of applause. So you know how we do.
Yes.
On to the next one. God bless.
Definitely. God bless.
What's up, world? It's your boy DJ 47. Thanks for tuning in to our YouTube page. If you like what you see, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to us as we hit you with new videos every week. 1.